Lovely.
Fix the old camera. Advanced. Boop. Oops. I guess I could keep that low. Here, what happens if I auto white balance? Yeah, that looks about right. Boop. Oh. Alright, there.
Oh,
Not bad.
the hell? Don't know what that ad is.
Alright. Good. Lucky bats. Ooh woo.
Ooh woo. Ooh woo bat.
Alright. We're going to continue. Put on a little copper.
Sweet.
Brian
So
Hoffman.
how are you liking the stream station?
I am liking it. I think I need to work on my lights a bit. Because I think one problem I haven't solved is side light is just not like really the stream station needs to be sending light from like behind me at my workspace. Right now it's all on the side, shining from the side, and it's good enough, but it's still not perfect. Wondering I could probably get some of these lights above me and then kind of near the sides of my head, but then the camera's in the way.
You think maybe it's a higher power light bulb?
No, I think that would kill me. These are really bright. Because it's the problem. The problem is things. Like I guess it's a little bit light travel. It's my things like the camera and my hands in between the lights in the model.
I mean, we could still put a ring light right on your face. Like,
I'll just look through the hole.
Yeah. Then see, honestly, problem solved.
It would be. It would solve a bunch of problems. ZNubiQ. Hello, everyone. See, and it's mostly good. It's just the shadows the camera is seeing is getting into the black, and it should never be getting into the black. So I think like a very bright light. I don't know. Nobody has the camera right in front of the model.
Yeah.
That seems to be one thing that is kind of a no-no. Although this camera works so well and it's so comfortable.
What I wonder is maybe you brighten up the bulbs, but then you diffuse the hell out of them.
Yeah, because like see, look at this. Boop. Dark.
Can't wait to see that in 10 seconds.
It's just my hand.
Yep.
All of a sudden, there's no light. But like, what are you gonna do? This is the side. All of a sudden, there's no side light, and it's just my hands. Just my hands. It really needs to be. I think really, a headlamp would work really, really well.
So remember when we started EOB back up again, I built that first lighting station that was basically a ring light.
Yeah.
We should just repurpose that.
Yeah.
Just put that right on your face. Get a nice strap going.
It's mostly good, but not all good, and therefore it is bad. I agree. It's just tricky. It's tricky. Really, if there was a really bright light right here, shining straight down, that wouldn't be blocked by a camera. I think that would be perfect. You know, like a lamp.
What if
like a regular old lamp would be great.
What if we just tape LEDs to the camera?
I mean, that could work too. Here, let me try this. This is an idea I had before, but I think it might cover me up. Take this. Put that right there. Well, let's not. Let me get it a little closer to me. There we go.
The mag glasses. Yeah, you could wear the mag glasses with the light on
I
it.
could.
I wonder. I feel like I've seen a product that you can put on that camera that is a light.
Yeah, I mean, really, and it's the camera is 2.5 inches away from the model. Like we could probably use regular like 1.5 amp
Exactly.
volt LEDs because the camera sees so little.
Mm-hmm.
It seems silly to have so much light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think maybe we should try that. Try wiring up a light, some LEDs. That'd be
You know,
pretty
I
fun.
have a bunch of LED tape.
Ah.
Did the glasses you used have a light on them? They did. There's a limit to what us nerds consider too nerdy, Jay. No, we don't have a face cam. We have a lamp cam. Yeah, there's if you add a little something here, it takes away from a little something there. I do think though, a light on the camera, or maybe a light on the arm attached to the camera, like just smaller lights. Like maybe a floor lamp is just too much light for such a little window. Don't loosen that.
You saw my little lights. You didn't see my little lights on though.
No.
Maybe I'll bring one tomorrow. I can show you these because these are cheap. You get 4 of these for $25. And they're very bright.
Yeah, because maybe the trick isn't to build a cage around me. It's just to build a little cage around my model. Maybe that's the trick.
TK Shader Prince, use the mag glasses without the lenses.
I could. You know what? Oh, God, where did I put the batteries though? I'm gonna spend 1 minute on this.
Amazing. I have these cute little LEDs that I got for I guess they're for like kitchens. You install them in your kitchen ceiling. And I took all of the brackets off, and I'm gonna build my own 3D printed brackets so that I can use them to light our miniatures. I think that will be pretty sweet. Stephen Hess, isn't that just a headlamp then? Yes. But the dorkiest looking headlamp that you can get, I would say.
Oof.
Oh boy.
All right. I remember I took the batteries out because I just added a little more weight.
It does.
And it didn't really... my old setup was so good with the light, it didn't matter. There we go. It's not turning on. Is that broke? Great. Or the battery's dead? Maybe I put them in wrong. Let's see.
CWQ, I don't know. I've seen dorky looking headlamps. I mean, I feel like the magnifier ones have to be the dorkiest ones.
Alright. Yeah, these batteries are dead. Oh, no, wait, there's an on button. There we go. Oh, that is the wimpiest little light. How on earth does this take?
You can,
what,
you
1,
can
2, 3, 4.5 volts?
You can change the brightness, but it might just get less bright as you press the button.
I think that might be as bright as it gets. All right. I guess there's a little bit. It's casting a bit of light.
Jeez. I don't know if that's better.
TK Studio Prints. When we can't see you painting, you both need to use Streamlabs Then we can see you both paint and it won't suck up your system. Don't we use Streamlabs?
We do use Streamlabs.
Do? Why wouldn't it use
does.
up more?
It would.
Yeah.
Did I miss the reason we are not at the old setup? Says ZNewBQ.
The old setup was a pain in the butt because I had to set it up every day. So I had to screw things into the table, move lights around. I had to stop whatever I was filming and move it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that meant the next time I wanted to go back to filming that, I'd have to set up the cameras and lights and equipment for that particular shots and scene.
Mm-hmm.
So it ended up being like, if I was really hauling ass, it'd be like 20 minutes from 0 to stream.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to actually take my time, like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If I just didn't care about the end result, 15 to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If I was gonna be late, then
yeah,
it's so blue. It is so blue. Here I can turn it to day, which is just red.
Stephen has style 100, light +1. Style -100,
yes.
Light +1.
Yeah, definitely +1 light.
+1. Yeah, not +1,000,000. Yes, because it is very annoying to have to unscrew everything and move everything around all the time.
So I bought a new table. I spent a whole $5 on it.
Can't believe you could even afford
I know. And I want this space to be just streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm also going to get a wet palette so that I don't have to put together a new palette every night.
Mm-hmm.
TK Streetprints. We run Streamlabs with 9 people and it's never had a problem. 9 people streaming video? Because I feel like my internet can barely handle one person streaming video.
Mm-hmm. I can't watch the stream in HD. I've never been able to.
So TK, you might have some better internet
Mm-hmm.
than the average folk, or at least the average us.
Mm-hmm.
What was I reaching for? Oh, sure, I'll remember it in just 1 second. Although really the camera gives me a lot of really good options for editing the footage. Like I'm just going to turn my brightness up. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a surprisingly nice little webcam.
Mm-hmm. Thank goodness offices are going out of business.
Yeah. Brian Hoffman. Rip to my airbrush needle. Yeah, those things wear out faster than you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think it's a needle. Like, why would it ever wear out?
Mm-hmm.
So I was listening. Geeky Taniki D&D fan. Hey, hello. I was listening to some Murder Time in the Hobby Basement with Heath, and I listened to just the first little bit of Midwinter Minis little intro or little episode, and they were talking about, is this art? And I think we've talked about this a bit in the past, but I had some new thoughts on it. Because I think in the past, I didn't ever paint anything that wasn't like for gaming, or I wasn't at least tricking myself into believing I was going to play a game with it. But since then, I've painted many, many, many models for no real reason other than to just put them on the shelf and admire them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that has to be some form of art.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tricky. Because ZNewBQ tips $5. Buy a whole nother table. I think that would solve the light issue, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What if the entire table was shining light directly up?
Exactly. I think it always goes back to a conversation that I've had before is like art is such a... anything really can kind of be art.
Yeah.
So, there's a difference apparently between like fine art and normal art.
Pop art?
Exactly. Like pop art is an art.
Yeah.
But a painting by a 5-year-old is art. A finger painting.
A Marvel movie is not art. Is not as art as like a Scorsese movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that might be true, but there's some damn good Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Hess. It's art. It is art, but it's a different kind of, like I would say, like these models, I'm not really pouring artistic work into them. I'm painting them up to be at a level I am happy with, and then I want to play with them on the game board, and that's different to like how hard I tried on Captain Kato Sicarius, who will probably never be in a game, but I will probably admire a lot more than these guys who are going to live in a drawer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna push them around a game board while eating Burger King.
Exactly. Which is really everyone's dream, isn't
Yes. Geeky Taniki Dini fan. A Marvel comic is not art in the same way as a Marvel. Wait, a Marvel movie is not art in the same way that a Marvel comic is, but still art. Yeah, everything is art. And but another interesting thing though is that I'm doing so much art painting these models. But these models are already someone's artistic expression because they designed them and sculpted them and made them.
it? It's true.
It's interesting, like an artist, I can look at, another person who's painted orc knobs amazingly, but like somebody who does like a canvas painting, I mean, they can compare it to other people who've done a canvas painting, but they can't compare it to other people who have painted that exact model.
That exact canvas.
That exact canvas.
Mm-hmm.
CNVQ, lots of art lives in drawers. That's another good point. Like here in America, a lot of what is like considered valuable is like, I don't know, monetary value. Mm-hmm. Whereas it seems like in other cultures, it's a little bit more like art for art's sake, art for like objective value or subjective artistic interpretive value versus that dollar value.
Mm-hmm.
The dollar value is very easy. It really simplifies artistic critique.
Mm-hmm.
It's a massive scale collaboration. Ah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Games Workshop would put the designers, like credit them in the box. I guess they might. I've never checked. It'd be cool though. I'm pretty sure they don't.
They do.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. I don't think they do.
Oh, okay.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they?
Yeah, I know they don't credit. I don't know. It's kind of neat. It's a little, farm to table. Yeah. You like to know where your model's coming from.
They're not a Reaper though.
No.
Reaper does that.
Yes.
Which is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Farm to table.
Mini to drawer. Farm to table, mini to drawer.
Yeah, mini to another box.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're a lot more corporate than a lot of places though, especially Reaper.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Hess. Really, really good miniature painters use artistic expression, just not in the same way as most artists.
Yeah, they eat Cheetos while they do it.
Yeah.
No, I know. Apparently, I remember there was a problem at in the art department at our school where people would eat while doing oil paints. You're really not supposed to do that.
Because oil paints are toxic, or because you might get food in the oil, or
because oil paints are toxic and you shouldn't eat around toxic.
Stephen Hess, some of the ways professional painters use color is crazy, and it goes to show that it is indeed art. Dr. Jokel. So according to Jay, painting minis is no different than filling in a coloring book. Someone else created the base art, and then you scribble all over the lines in a way that they would probably hate. I don't know. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. You've nailed it. Yeah, it is interesting though. And then also, like, what is the value of getting someone else to call your art? Because most people, you paint a model for you, for your own enjoyment, for your own wargaming, for your own Instagram page.
But that Instagram page is for other people.
That is true. Xenoviq, Jay hates art. I do. I hate it.
Yep.
It's the worst.
Don't call me Shirley. Yo, it's Jay, the nice knob guy.
Geeky Taniki Dini fan. Always credit the artist from sculptor to 3D. Who's and what's it to the mini painter. It would be kind of neat though to be able to be like, ooh, I really like a GW model sculpted by James. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I'm not a big fan of models sculpted by Bill.
Yeah, Bill sucks.
And Melinda's pretty good, but she could get better.
Yeah. Yeah, but she said some things on Twitter that I don't appreciate.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Good old Melinda. Jeez.
Just thought it was an interesting line of thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Heath and Midwinter kind of landed on it's complicated, but it's more craftiness than it is art. Mm. Which I guess it all depends on your like, I guess what you're trying to get out of it. Because like I would say these orcs are probably craftiness, but Kato is artsiness.
Mm-hmm. Geeky Taniki D&D fan, but that Karen, she is the worst. Yeah, GW Karen. Oh my
Holy
God.
Cow!
Her press releases, a little too much.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Hess. I think anyone can be an artist. Just grab an old craft paint and throw it all over a canvas until it looks like garbage, then sell it for millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I wish it was so simple.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be the first. You gotta be the first person to hot glue a banana to a wall.
That's true.
My banana glued to a wall is not going for very much.
It is in a gallery, though.
Maybe I gotta do a grapefruit.
There you go. Everyone loves a grapefruit.
ZeNubiQ, I would like to do that because somebody has been copy-pasting the Dark Eldar knee pads everywhere, and I don't like it. Dark Eldar knee pads? Like the knee armor on Calabite warriors? Or like real-world knee pads with an Eldar symbol on them? Gazgul, Thraka, Orcs, Swag!
Hello, Gazgul.
Mm-hmm.
Got a celebrity in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Dr. Drokel, I found the best way to shut up a critic is to present them with my trays of pastels and access to a sheet of Canson paper, then ask them to show me a better version.
Dr. Drokel, I thought the banana glued to the wall was 5 Minute Craft's original trademark idea. ZeNubiQ. The knee armor on Calabite warriors and witches have been on like 3 Age of Sigmar armies. Do they have like a little hook? I think they have like they're a knee armor that goes into kind of like a hook on the side.
Stephen Hess, have you seen some of the paintings at the Art Institute of Chicago? We had to do a worksheet on the deep meaning behind a few thick lines and some scribbles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've seen some art that is interesting. I went to the the art in Milwaukee,
Art Institute.
the Art Institute, and some of the art was like, oh, that's cool, and then some of the art was like, yeah, that's on the wall, good sturdy frame.
Did you ever go see like the student work in the art gallery at UWM?
Yeah, a little.
Some of that was like that.
Usually there'd be like one or two really cool pieces.
Oh yeah,
though.
there'd be some very cool stuff, and then sometimes,
Yeah.
well, sometimes it wasn't always student art though.
Ah.
So they would have a certain days they'd have some weeks, most weeks they would have student art, and then some weeks they'd have professional artists coming through, and especially ones that were doing some lecturing at the school. Yeah.
And they were much worse.
Yeah. Exactly. I remember I went to one of those art lectures, and the guy was like, "Yeah, it's a pain to have this be my job." Like really discouraging people from being an artist. It was hilarious.
Makes sense though. Yeah, they should have picked a real career like YouTuber.
Exactly.
Don't call me Shirley. It was tape and not glue. Ah, that's art. Wait, scotch or duck? Duct tape is art. Scotch tape, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyone can use scotch tape.
Xenobiq. Side note, if you hot glue a grapefruit to the wall, I want to see that glue/glue gun. Oh, it would take a lot of glue. But you know what? The more glue, the more art. Stephen Hess. Did you know that Dr. Seuss was on LSD when he wrote his books? Makes sense.
Good.
I mean, I think a lot of people should probably be on LSD a lot. Seems to work really well for some people.
Oh, just all the time.
No, why not?
Just all the time be out of your mind.
Dave, dog, have you magnetized that orc knob? Nah, probably shoulda. Didn't wanna.
No. It's too finicky. I was going to do that. And I've decided I'll just buy another box.
Yeah.
One more box and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how much less you want to do all that fiddly little stuff when you're not a high schooler.
Yes.
When you're a high schooler and you don't have you don't have a penny to your name, you're like, well, this Space Marine squad could be 53 different squads.
Because my whole thing is, am I really going to spend a ton of hours magnetizing the whole thing and then play it in 3 games? And then play with the same options every single game because I'm not going to rewrite a list or I'm going to barely change it.
And usually some of the options are better than others.
Yeah.
How often are you going to take the combi rocket launcher on a squad that can't shoot anything?
Yes. It's not always worth it. So the more glue, the more art.
Yes.
Exactly.
Doomslayer. Just the other day, just to have a little ADHD sidebar. The other day, I had the Doom guy and Doomslayer sitting in my shopping cart from Hardcore Miniatures. One of these days. Doomslayer. Just had my first fight with decals. The decals won. I see why YouTube has so many tutorials on it. And I'm using Vallejo products. Are Micro Soul and Micro Set better? I don't know. I mean, the Micro, everyone says, you can use vinegar, and the Micro Soul smells exactly like vinegar. Really, I think a lot of it comes down to not over-watering your decal, because you want it to be just wet enough to hydrate the glue, but not so wet that the glue has been washed off. And then also doing relief cuts if you're going over any sort of a curved surface. You probably want to cut off the decal. There's a little bit there's like a 1 millimeter of empty decal plastic over all of the image, and sometimes you want to cut that off. Yeah, decals are tricky. ZNubiQ, here's some not gonna magnetize money. Thanks, ZNubiQ, we need it.
Yeah.
I think I just not play it. Like, oh, the melt is good. Ah, it's okay. Then I just won't bring it.
Yep.
It's also crazy. Like when I was a youngster, starting my armies, I'm like, why would I ever buy terrain, ever? If I got money, it's going into my armies. But now that my armies are done, it's like, let me get some terrain. Let's make that part of the game a little more fun. I may have bought some terrain very recently and put it together today.
Ooh. Dr. Drogo, but wouldn't it technically be quicker to magnetize than buy and paint a whole new box? I mean, if you were trying to decide between the two options, that is.
I mean, it would depend on the thingy. Like a vehicle, I would probably, if it's just, sometimes though vehicles didn't even have to magnetize. It's just like the gun just slots in. I don't. These orcs have so many options though.
They do, and not all of them are good.
And not all of them are good, and not all of them look different. Like honestly, this is a big choppa, and this is two choppas. I could probably get away with just saying that one is the other.
Yes.
I know I'm always going to probably take one with a power claw. So, one has a power claw. Don't call me Shirley. Terrain, water bottles, and books rocks. Yeah, I've played a lot of games like that. Joey Flores. For a moment, I was getting into magnetizing my Grey Knights, the Space Marines, and Chaos Boys, but a 3D printer changed my mind on that. Can just print extra bodies now. That's true. That's true.
You know it'd be kind of cool?
What?
If you designed a 3D model that had different options, but it already had the hole in there, so you just stick in the magnet.
There was some company that did that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Gosh, I wish I could remember who did that. But yeah, there was a
Magnets
little hole.
are us.
There was a little hole that was perfectly sized for magnets already. Because I just today actually I did some magnetization, and it's a challenge figuring out how it's going to work, where you're going to hide the magnets. Is it worth it in the first place? Sometimes you just got to do it for the video. You know what though? I do like. There's a certain satisfaction that comes with a really good magnet job. When you put that thing in place and just go click.
Do you want to hear this?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? These are my lights. They have magnets in them. It's like
chunk.
Yeah, beautiful. Love it.
Stephen Hess, we need to settle this once and for all. Is Doom's Lair just another way of spelling Doomslayer? Doomslayer. Battlefield in a box. Save time, and since you are in the US, you can just buy whatever you want from Gale Force 9. Also, they should sponsor you. Oh, I forget. Does Gale Force 9, do they make the MDF terrain?
I don't remember.
There's some company that's making MDF terrain that's got printed texture on it, and that's brilliant.
Ooh. It is nice.
Don't call me Shirley. Jay, 3D print model. Nope. Unless it's cool, then I'll do it.
Or a 3D printed J model. I mean, I want that. I mean, TK Studio Prints is the sculptor.
Yeah.
The true sculptor out of all of us.
I want myself, and then I want the base that I'm standing on to say Jay is wrong. Dr. Joker. You could always just scotch tape on other options real quick. Oops, I mean duct tape it on. Wouldn't want it to stop being art now, would we? I actually got a comment on my video on if you should magnetize or not, where somebody said that they actually use poster tack to stick their guns on. Which works, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's so jank.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was even an option. But it would totally work.
Would it work during a game?
Kinda.
Things around?
It'll be a little floppy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can deal with the flop.
That's true.
Hand of Glory is the models that have magnet holes. Ah, neat. Power Surge. Gale Force 9 recently made that Aliens box. I'm interested in it. Ooh.
I'm looking. Modular magnetic miniatures. Cute. Yep, a lot of D&D. It's universal, so any hand weapon or whatever fits. All the poses are the same. Kind of all have the same both arms out pose.
No, it's perfect. Speaking of perfect, I need a drop of super glue. Stephen Hess, what style bases do you use for your orcs? I'm going to do a combination of my road base tutorial and the easy scenic rock base.
Mm-hmm. Road rage scenic highway bases.
Mm-hmm.
And scenic. I think it's scenic desert.
Something like that.
I can find exactly which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
We made a lot of videos recently.
Mm-hmm.
3 videos a week is a lot of videos.
Kinonis, any chance we will see some Malifaux live painting? Absolutely we will, because I bought a lot of it. Gotta get through it.
Mm-hmm. It's called Easy Scenic Bases Rocky Desert. It's the first real video back besides the periodic table of Space Marines.
Yeah, it is. The periodic table of Space Marines. So underrated.
I feel like that's one of our most underrated videos.
I know. I don't like the term overrated, but I love underrated when it's my videos.
Mm-hmm. Just like, do you remember Pain in the Pelvis? Tips for gluing small models?
Yeah! Holy cow.
It's our 3rd video back.
God, what was even the tip?
I think it was extra thick cement.
Okay. Whatever else just dropped in to say, huh. Muppet minded, gluing the parts before you paint the chest area? I painted the chest area. That's why I'm gluing it in place. Dave Dog, you should be a pro like me. I'm using scrapyard bases for my boys. Vallejo and MIG rust pigments. Rocky Road base is what I heard. I mean, that's going to be a video one day. Oh my goodness, why is this arm not gluing down?
It's just an ice cream base.
Mm-hmm. Take me home, Rocky Road, to the base where I belong. Basing video on EonsBattle. It's the place where I belong. Muppet-minded, there are still parts in white and black, and it makes it hard to see the metallics he did. Yeah. I mean, the white parts are his shirt, so that's done. But the swig and his backpack gun need to get painted. So still, ice cream and chocolate base tutorial.
Yeah. TK Studio Prints. Nick J, I could turn your heads into holders for drinking out of each other. He sent a link of a mug that he did.
Ah.
It's pretty great. Here, I'll send you the link.
Stephen Hess, can you say what video tutorials those bases would be on your channel? I thought we did. I mean, we didn't do a good job, but
it's the road rage scenic highway bases and the easy scenic bases rocky desert. So if you look up scenic on our channel, you'll find both of them real quick.
Oh my god, I'm seeing the mug.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And that could be us.
Mm-hmm.
We could get mugged.
Zadzator, what's Malifaux gameplay look like? No idea. I watched one video, but it is It uses a deck of cards instead of dice, and it's skirmish. It's a skirmish alternate activation style of game. So probably somewhat similar to a kill team, at least in the like small models fighting each other individually.
Mm-hmm. Exciting.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. Wow, this arm is nuts. Did it glue down yet? Okay, well, it's not gonna fall off. So, but apparently they are coming out with a starter box soon with 2 factions, and apparently there's gonna be no assembly required. So I'm very interested in what that means, because Malifaux has super, super gorgeous, beautiful plastic minis. And so I wonder if they're going to not do that for the starter box, or if they've just going to design things so well that they plastic injection mold perfectly in one piece.
Well, I wonder if they're doing well. I mean, like Games Workshop is doing well because of the pandemic and stuff. I wonder if they're doing well too, because people are like, well, I want to play a game.
Yeah, it could be.
I want to paint some amazing looking models. So maybe they hired the best rocket scientists around.
Yeah.
To figure out their models.
Yeah, I mean, if people like fantasy, it seems like Age of Sigmar is kind of the game. If you like science fiction, then you got a bunch of options. You got 40K, you got Infinity, Drop Zone Commander, a couple of others. But if you like weird Victorian steampunk fantasy, also cowboy, then the Malifaux's your game. Don't call me Shirley. Jay, have you learned Caravan if you're going to start playing with cards? I, to this day, have no earthly idea how to play Caravan. It makes no sense. Caravan is the card game you can play in Fallout New Vegas. And I try to play it every time I do a run of that game, and I have no idea how it works. I just hit buttons until I lose.
Perfect.
Right, dog. Nick and Jay, your videos and other creators like you guys got me back into the hobby after 15 odd years of not touching it. Thank you guys for your awesome videos and inspiration. Aww. Thanks, Right, dog. Apex Bovine. I hope Orcs get a new box set soon. Well, I think everyone's going to get a new, what are they called? A patrol detachment? Which is like a playable 500-point army in a box for 140, which just means 120 because don't buy it from Games Workshop. Buy it from a company, from a friendly local game store that offers 15% discount. So, and I'm really interested to see. We haven't seen a combat patrol box meant for a swarm or like a swarm army yet, like orcs or Tyranids or Genestealer cult. And I'm really interested to see what happens, because what they could do, what the worst thing they could possibly do, is just make those boxes cost more because they contain way more models, or they make those boxes a great value because you get way more stuff for the same amount of money. Place your bets on which one's going to happen. Dr. Jokel. Jade, you use Dollar Tree superglue packs. I used to buy them years ago, but I don't... Scroll. But I don't know if they still sell them or not. These, probably the same sort of thing. I buy the original superglue in little tubes. I buy them in packs of like a dozen for $5. I like them. I'm not very careful, and so just having a brand new fresh tip all the time is pretty nice.
That's what I always say.
Stephen Hess, you're going to kill me if you don't paint the wires on his axe. I'm going to paint the wires. All in good time.
But just because you said that, he's not.
Ah.
Just because he complained.
Mm-hmm. Fallout New Vegas is the best game ever. And I'm so sad they're probably never going to do a Fallout New Vegas 2.
Mm-hmm. And even if they did, you wouldn't be able to play it on Mac.
And even if I did it, I wouldn't be able to play it on Mac. But it's... and the game itself is so perfect, but it's perfect, but it's not. Like, it's a little bit of a buggy mess. Mm-hmm. Apparently, they made the game in 18 months, and they perfected the story, the side quests, the amount of items, the RPG management system. Everything about that game is perfect, except like the AI is pretty jank, and it looks like butt, mm-hmm. and it crashes all the time. Mm-hmm. And every day it's just getting a little older and a little worse. Mm-hmm. I want either a remastered or a part 2, but it's probably never going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's the most popular Fallout game. 4 was pretty popular, but it didn't capture the magic. And Fallout 74 is not really a Fallout game. Mm-hmm. Power Surge. Doesn't Games Workshop charge for models according to points power level? I know it's just an excuse to overcharge, but it's what they say. I don't think it's what they say. I don't think they've ever commented on their pricing structure. And stuff is not priced based on what its points are. Because there's some crazy stuff like the Gene Stealer cult that have a horrible price to point ratio. Where, what's has some good... I think Space Marines are much better in terms of point for price. Mm-hmm. Why did I just load up with brown? I'm so scatterbrained today. I don't know what's going on. But something needed brown paint.
It's probably all the drugs that you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably mm-hmm. 3 bumps of Coke, maybe a little too much. 2, right, 2's normal.
Yeah.
If it's a weekend, 5.
Yeah. Respectable.
Yeah. Responsible, exactly.
Stephen Hess, I wasn't joking yesterday when I asked, how did you get the texture on the minis? Did you prime them in the cold?
No, there's a video. There's a video on me assembling these models where I show exactly what I do to build them. But the texture, the texture is stippled on Tamiya Basic Putty, and then on top of the Tamiya Basic Putty stippling, I stippled on some Vallejo mud texture. And that gives a really nice, subtle texture effect. Don't call me Shirley. Crash, 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 New Vegas. Play 3 cards, crash, play for 1 hour, flawless, or get to the ending and crash. Sample text. I believe people are porting New Vegas to Fallout 4. Oh yeah, people are modding the heck out of Fallout New Vegas. Trying to keep it working.
And I'm sure you're really heavy in the mod community. You're actually one of the experts on mods, right?
There's actually an amazing story about... so early in the game, in the character creation, you are given Rorschach tests as a way to help you kind of fill out your perks and your skills. And I don't know why, but it became a meme that people thought one of the Rorschach tests looked like two bears high-fiving. And so somebody made a very popular mod to the game that's only function was to allow you to select the option, it's a picture of two bears high-fiving. It changed no aspect of the game except let you click that. And I guess the developers thought it was so funny that when they came out with some DLC, they actually named a character Two Bears High-Fiving.
Amazing.
Yeah, you're not going to hear a fun story like that about the new Call of Duty.
That's true.
Zerg619, hello Eons and Nick, a question for you. Is there a mini that was really hard to paint or took you more days than usual? I mean, a lot of models are hard to paint. Harder than it looked. Like a model that took me by surprise. Well, that took me by surprise. I don't know, I mean, I feel like they all just turn out to be way harder than I think, in general. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I can do this in 2 hours. You know, it takes 5. It'll probably be one of the weird things I picked.
Salamanders?
The salamanders were weird. One of the first models I tried some non-metallic metal on. Boy, I can't think of anything interesting to say. Maybe
Did you see Zumakito's painting a Cobra mode?
I don't know. Did he just come out with a video?
I don't know, but there was an Instagram post.
I mean, I think he's painted Cobra mode before. Or maybe I'm thinking of Ninjan. I think I'm thinking of Ninjan.
Everyone's on like Cobra mode.
Yeah, I mean, Cobra mode makes some of the best stuff out there. We were first, though, so we get credit, right?
Well, except for Goober.
Oh. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to say that that metal Space Marines, or not Space Marine, that metal Primaris Psyker that I did no metallics on, that model was a trip. And I think it was pretty successful, but it's a weird model, painted very differently than I usually paint stuff. So I'm gonna say the old metal Primaris Psyker. Don't call me Shirley. Jay, they sell Fallout New Vegas models. Do they? I own some of the Fallout models. They're all that are based on Fallout 4. And I want to say I saw something that looked Fallout New Vegas-y, but I didn't see a lot of options. Is it the same company? I wish I could remember it. Is it Modiphius Games or Modicius Games that makes the Fallout miniatures board game? Ooh, I pre-ordered it just for the background. Ooh. So it's new. Power Surge. Metal Primaris. Yes, there. Before Primaris were even a thing, there was something in the Imperial Guard called a Primaris Psyker, which is just a little bit better than the regular Psyker. And it's still called the Primaris Psyker. So there's 2 Games Workshop units called Primaris. One of them is an entire army of Space Marines, and the other one is 1 unit for the Guard.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want Fallout New Vegas minis. I remember I looked on Amazon, and there were some people who were really upset because they bought the starter box for the Fallout Miniatures tabletop game, and the miniatures that come with that are PVC. And they're still the same size as the nice resin ones, and apparently like a lot of people got broken minis. A lot of people got warped minis, poor quality minis. And they're like, this sucks because I know that the models are good, but these ones are bad.
Mm-hmm.
And, you just see on the box it just says, high quality plastic minis, and that's what we're all used to seeing. But there's a big difference between like the vinyl-y PVC and the nice super injection molded plastic.
Right.
Sample text. It's the same company, yeah. There is a New Vegas Ranger and some other stuff I saw last time I was on the site. Well, I'll have to check it out. I hope that they have a Deathclaw, an old Fallout 3 New Vegas Deathclaw. I know that the Fallout 4 Deathclaws look much better, but I kind of like the old version. Just for the nostalgia. It's all, you're just wandering around the Mojave, looking at the not trees, and then all of a sudden you just get one-shotted out of nowhere by a Deathclaw. And you're like, oh no, I haven't saved in hours. Ah, what a game. What a perfect game. Econi. Maybe MS will have Bethesda update Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. By update, I mean debug and 4K supports. Hopefully, but didn't Bethesda get bought out by someone? And isn't the team at Bethesda a very different team than the team that made the game 11 years ago? Because I heard everyone pretty much left. Rhaegar, I just got the new Sigvald model in the mail, and it is badass. Ooh. Don't call me Shirley. Deathclaw Valley. Ah, you mean Deathclaw Promenade? Or is that the name of the quest?
Dave Doug, I think Microsoft bought up Bethesda.
Mm.
Well, that just that kills that Mac support.
It does. Oh yeah, no, I bet a lot of companies are not going to be chomping at the bit to port their game, since they already did that, and then their game got stopped from being ported. It got deported.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we'll spend the money so that the Mac people, we can get some Mac dollars too.
Mm-hmm.
You want to spend a little more?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're all going to be like, no. Goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
For Fallout series, Woot Woot would be good. Good old Woot Woot. Kino Quinones. I thought Obsidian made New Vegas. Obsidian made 1 and 2, and Bethesda 3 and 4. I thought Obsidian made 1, 2, and 4, and Bethesda made New Vegas. I think Obsidian gave Fallout to Bethesda to make New Vegas while they were working on Skyrim. Sample text. Isn't the I-9 highway in New Vegas where there's like 100 Deathclaws wandering around? Yep. And what's fun is that's like the main path out of the starting area where you spawn into the game. It's like if you just follow the road, you die. It's like impossible for a level 0 character to make it through. And every new player just has to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't call me Shirley. Yep, I mean that, Jay, there is also a mod called Deathclaw Valley. Ah, oh my god, does that put literally 100 of them in there?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Drokel, yes, Obsidian made New Vegas, and then Bethesda / Bandai published it. Ah, neat. I like it. It's a good game. And it's got endless replayability because every single like interaction or thing you can do in the game has like 3 different ways to accomplish it, 10 different ways to get there. I think it has something like 175 unique weapons. Connie. The team from Interplay went to Obsidian, so yes. So now I guess they're Microsoft. Stephen Hess, important question. How do you highlight the skin of that orc? You didn't say in the video when you did it. I used a bunch of different colors, but basically every orc got it got one base color, and then one wash color, and then one highlight color. And a lot of the highlight colors are just the regular color mixed with white or yellow. So, I don't know exactly which orc, but they all have a different recipe. And if you want the specific recipe, I don't remember, so you might have to go back to that video and scrub around.
In the stream.
In the stream, yeah. And TK City Prince, right, guys and gals, it's that time again. Remember that to hit that like on the way out. Have a good evening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central. And we have another video out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Big old video.
Yeah, it is a very big video.
It's a Fallout New Vegas Let's Play.
Exactly.
I want to make that so bad. That'd be so much fun. You guys could see my computer crash in real time.
Exactly.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
End.